I am here today because in my last video I was telling you that Tracy Fox's Foxy Rag, which is from Tracy Fox Creative, she and her partner put this out. It is now quarterly. It's a quarterly magazine, digital magazine, and it is for arty creative people, and it does focus a lot around junk journals, but it also has people in it that do other types of crafts and stuff as well. So if you haven't heard of it, now you have. It's pretty awesome, and let me tell you why. Not only does it have great stories in it, but it also is chock full of like digital images that you get, like digital kit pieces. So you get to read good articles and like good information and learn about other people, and I mean, see gorgeous pictures of their work. Tracy and Jay do a really good job of putting like lovely pictures in, but then you also get a ton of digitals. So this issue is bigger than the other ones have been previously, and it's 65 pages. So I haven't even printed any of the articles here, and I have not also printed all of the digitals, and I still have, look at that stack. This is all just digitals, just digi images, digi things that we can play with. So I'm going to show you through it. The other thing is, guys, you'll notice, that's what I'm excited about. Well, I'm excited about the rag in general. I love reading it, and I'm excited when it comes out. But I'm also one of the featured artists. Thank you, Tracy. So if you buy it, you get all the digitals, but you also get to read my article. So, but you also get to support Tracy and this magazine, which is awesome. But I think the biggest value is that, you know, you get the magazine, but you also get all these digitals, and they're digitals that you can use just like any of her other digitals, right? So you can use them in journals that you're selling or whatever. So, I've just printed off the front page because look at this. I love this background. This part here could totally be a journaling card, right? And then they give you this faded version of that same image on the next page, which, hello, flip outs and things, right? Then you get this, let's see, this is a document, a French legal document from 1844. Crazy, right? So these first prints, these are all, I've printed all of these on like a 65-pound ivory cardstock. So that's gorgeous, and this would be great for collage. If you printed it out on coffee stained paper, you could fold it up and it would look like an old document, right? Then these two, which I kind of have plans for these in my journal that I'm working on right now. Sorry, I gotta stay in, I have my camera directed a little bit lower and I gotta remember to stay down here. I think I'm gonna cut these out and make flip outs from them, because I kind of just like the way they look like this, and I think they would look cool as flip outs, and then there'd be journaling space on the back. Then we've got some tags. I think we might play with these today. And then these photographic, they're like photo, she says photographic reference. And then she's got a picture of them in different ways in the magazine, which I didn't print out. But I did print these out because I thought these would be kind of fun to play with too. Then we've got some fussy cut butterflies. Lovely. I like that they're big. Then some mini file folders that kind of match some of those tags. And some collage postcards. And along with the postcards that she's made, she's given you some information about postcards and when they started being used. Kind of cool. Then a sheet of butterfly postage stamps, which will be fun, especially since in my current journal I'm using a ton of butterflies. And then you get this. So these fun colorful frames, and then you get some pictures and some butterflies and some little sentiments and words down here that you can use to decorate these. And if you don't feel like doing that, or additionally, you also get ones that she's already put together for you. But the pictures in these are different than the pictures in these, so you can still, you know, make your own and use these. So we might play with those. Then there's this super cool, like old, you know, it kind of looks like old, oh my gosh, the word just escaped my head. It's like typography, but these are the letters that I can't think of the word for them. Anyway, it's a really cool piece of paper. Again, great for collage, or you could cut out certain elements, or, you know, what I might do is use these again as flip outs or pockets or journaling cards, you know, bases for that. Then this month she's also given us a couple of background, like big digital background sheets. So this looks like some of her jelly printing that she's been doing recently. I love this. So we might use some of that. And then here's another one. Then she's added some digital design on top, layered it on there, and I love that. Some script in the background. So another big page, and I absolutely love this one. I don't know what it is about the polka dots or something, and the black and the white and the black and the white. I just love the way that this looks. I really like that one. And then this one's super cool too, and it goes along with, it kind of matches with both the journals that I'm working on right now, but also the Egypt one that I'm going to start working on. So this might be saved for that. And then there's also, and I didn't even print all the digis, there's some little fish coins and some other things. I mean, there's so much stuff in this, guys. But then this little mini drawing book, look at how cute that is. So we're going to put that together first, because I'm just totally want to do that. I think it's the cutest little thing, and I might just tuck that into the book I'm working on right now somewhere. So I'm going to set these aside over here. So it says to print and cut out the 3 pieces, fold the cover and the 2 sets of pages, sew in pages or staple and color. So I'm not entirely sure. I kind of stared at it for a few minutes when I printed it out first, and was trying to figure out exactly how I would be doing this. And I kind of have a vision in my head, but we'll just see if that actually works or not. And I'm going to be really careful cutting this out, because, you know, like if they don't cover, if the cover is too small, it won't fit the pages. And I don't know if she's sized them to be exact. Kind of eyeballing it, it looks like it is. Okay, there's our little cover. All right, I'm gonna just cut, since I'm cutting these so carefully, I'm just gonna speed through me cutting them out really quick, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, guys, so I think what we're gonna do, well, we'll see. Once you know that thing where you'd like do something in your head and you go, okay, that looks like that'll work. So I think you could either cut them apart here and like just put them, you know, stack them like a regular signature, or what I really kind of want to try is seeing if we can fold them. Okay, so I'm gonna fold the 2 sides in. Where is my phone folder? I have like 80 drinks on my desktop right now. Okay, so I'm gonna see if we can fold them both in like this. And then I'm gonna see if we can do it where we like glue the front. This is so fun though. When I saw this, I was like, that's the first thing I'm gonna do, is make this little mini book. Because, okay, here's what I'm thinking. If it works with this piece, then it should work with both pieces. Let's see. So if I glue the front page to the front, right? Just like so that's together there. Then this would be its own page, and that would be there, but this would glue to this one. So I think it will work. Did what I just say make any sense to you? Probably not. Hopefully it will when I start doing what I think is going to make it look cool. And of course I think I'm going to have to ink around the edges because it's printed on this like super bright white paper, and you're going to see some of that edge. Hopefully this all lines up right though. So look at, it's so much fun. The Foxy Rag is so much fun. All we're doing is putting together our first little project, and already I'm having too much fun. Okay, I'm just gonna, this is Vintage Photo. And Jamie, if you're watching, I think I've worn out my first sponge. It's the rounded top ones, and she said, I dare you to try and destroy one of these. And I was like, oh, I can destroy things. Okay, so then I think, let's see, I'm gonna go around the back sides too, because when you fold them together, you're gonna see a little bit of it. And I just am not sure what edges you'll see, so rather than try to like ink in later, I'm just gonna do it now. Okay, so I'll forward through the rest of this inking so you don't have to watch me ink. Okay, so now okay, we gotta make sure that that stays the right way. I didn't do the outside edges of this. Everything just needs some ink, guys. You know what, it totally bugs me when I get something done and then there's like, and I see where I should have inked. All right, I think these all go sideways, so I don't think, well, okay, there, this is the one that would maybe need to be the right way up. Okay, so I think, yeah, okay, so it's gonna work. So we're gonna fold it like this, right? So that it goes, these two pages will be together, and this one will glue to the front cover, and then this one will glue to the front page of this one. So I think I'm gonna do that gluing first. And I'm gonna use this glue, but I'm gonna try and be really careful with how much of it I put on. I don't wanna be too liberal with it because I don't want it to really warp the pages so super bad. I just want them to be stuck together. It's stringy. I must have left it uncovered or something for a while last time I was using it. Okay, now I'm gonna try and like line these up the best I can. Okay, yep. Oh, they fit together really nicely. Okay, so far that's what I've done, right? I've glued the two ends together. Then I'm trying to decide if I should put some glue in between these other ones. These other two pages, I might as well, just a little bit. Because I don't think I'm gonna have to staple or anything, because the gluing this in should work. Okay, I gotta pay attention to what I'm gluing. Otherwise I'm gonna glue the wrong things together. Like I said, I'm trying to be just really careful and put a little tiny bit of glue on there. Okay, so now we actually have like a little text block, right? And all that's left is to glue the front and the back in. It's so cute. It's so cute. I kind of don't want to color it. I think I'm just going to stick it in the book like this, and whoever gets this book can color it on their own if they want to. Okay, so now I'm going to try and add, get this in there. I'm trying to like make sure that I center it top and bottom and on the back there, and not glue any of the other pages together. Okay, now that all that's left is to glue the front page in. And okay, so I know I'm gonna start sounding like a salesperson for the Foxy Rag, which I mean, you know, this is kind of a design team thing. I am on Tracy's design team, but I really just, how fun is this? I really just like the magazine. I love the idea of it. I love how supportive Tracy is of, you know, like everyone in our little crafty community. Did I glue anything together? No, I managed to do this, make it work, and not glue anything together. Look at how adorable. What is it about mini things, guys, that makes them so dang cute? Okay. We've already made our first little project. So we have our little drawing book, it says. And here we go. Here, we're gonna do a flip through of the mini book. So cute. I mean, you could like actually decorate the pages up and stuff too if you wanted to, right? But how cute is that? And it works to glue it together like that, guys. So there you go. That's my version of putting together the mini drawing book. So I'm gonna set this aside, and I'm gonna go like this so that it kind of all dries without sticking together. I'm gonna set that over there. All right, now let's find some other fun things to play with from here. I kind of want to play with these tags, and these, or possibly these, I'm definitely gonna, I think I'm gonna put some like glossy accents on the butterflies or something. Well, I think I'm gonna send them through my Scan and Cut so that it cuts out all these little edges, because I'm not trying to do that by hand. Heck no. Also, I don't think my scissors that would do that would even, like, you'd still see white parts. So I think I'll send it through, and then I'll probably put some glossy accents on there. Okay, let's play with this, y'all. I might put these away for now, because I kind of think that the tags, what I'm hoping is that these will be wide. Oh, it looks like they're just the same width, maybe. Okay, I'm gonna fast forward through me cutting this stuff out, and I will be right back. ironic that I'm cutting out a thing that says small things, considering the fact that these are very small things. Tracy Fox, they're tiny. Oh, I swear, like every butterfly feels like it's smaller as I go here. Tracy, what kind of wickedness is this? All these little teeny weeny things. My hands. Well, that was a lot of tiny little cutting. But I've got my pieces cut out now. So I've got the letters like laid out very carefully, the little words, because they would be really easy to lose. All right, so let's just have a think through here, because as I was cutting, I was thinking I left the edges on two of these little frames because I kind of thought, I don't know, I'm trying to think, could I make them so, see, the frame itself fits inside of the tag like perfectly. So I was trying to think, could I make like a little flip out thing? I think we can. And then maybe cut out the window, like where the glass would be on this frame, you know, and I have some of my like packaging material over here. Okay, first we gotta, okay, don't get too far ahead of myself. That's number one. Let's make a fold here. And because I know I'm not going to make that straight, I'm just gonna grab this guy out quick, because there's no way that I'm making that fold straight without the aid of a device designed specifically for this very thing. Okay, and one more. If you don't have a scoreboard, you can always just put, if you have a metal ruler or something that's a really, the thinner kind of flat edge, and just bend it up over the edge of that, and that'll work too. I just happen to have my scoreboard right there, and it works. Okay. So what I'm thinking is, and I probably got to cut out, I probably, before I folded this over, should have cut out the screen so I don't, oh no, it's not even gonna come close. Let me grab my X-Acto knife. So I just went looking further than I needed to for this because it was right on my desk. Okay, I am doing this by eyeballing it, but again, this would be another situation that would call for a straight edge. Tracy has a method for doing it where she folds back. The edges. Let's see. There, that worked. Now let's see, can I recreate it on this one? Ooh, this one's got a thicker black line around the edge. That helps. Because as long as I can kind of stay on top of that black line. This is also why I love my glass craft mat, because you can do things like this on there and it just glides right along. 2 for 2. All right, where did I put my cover? So what I was thinking was we could either put that fold right through on the back, or we could glue it down so you wouldn't see it, right? And then it just becomes the hinge. And we put some of this packaging stuff behind it, right? And then I'll have to like line it with something. But the thought is, I'm trying to make it sound like I really have a good plan here, guys, but I don't. I'm trying to think, do I want to leave it so that you see the background here and just put some like butterflies in there, and then when you open it, the tag would just be like this and have some butterflies and stuff? Or do I want to put a picture back there, and when you open it, it's that, and then, you know, we could do some collaging around? Or, you know, we could always put one of these ones behind it, and it could go around the edge of that. These are kind of like standalone pieces, so they get their own thing. And or could we make it top loading somehow so that you could pull this out, and when we open it up, we could still see, we could decorate this. Let's see about top loading though. I don't know. I don't know how well this stuff is pretty flimsy. So I'm gonna cut a bigger than I know I'm gonna need piece, so I have something smaller to work with here. And it's doubled over because it's a bag, right? Okay. I always lose this stuff on my desk. I put it down, and because it's clear, you just lose it really easily. Okay, so I'm gonna, if we want it top loading, we want the picture to go behind this. So we want this. I am talking through this out loud more for myself than anybody else, because I have zero plan. Okay, I think I'm gonna put glue and get this attached, right? Right, guys? There's no other reason why I wouldn't be able to attach this first. Also, I'm gonna stay back a little bit from the inside of the frame here, because otherwise, you know, when you put it on, the glue smooshes out in between the frame and the plastic, and then you can see the glue, and there's no way to wipe it off. So we'll do this. Okay, get that glue off there. Okay, and as I push it down, I'm just making sure that I push the glue kind of away from the opening, because I don't want it to get smushed out, you know what I mean? Okay, so you probably can't hardly see any of this on camera. Okay, there you can see there's plastic behind there, but I need to trim around the edges of it because it goes right up to the edges. Then I think if I want to make it, oops, I cut a little thing. If I want to make it top loading, I'm going to have to find something to go behind it. Let me get rid of all this little, like static clinging to everything. Okay, so far so good. I'm gonna give that a little burnish and give it a back bend a little bit because I want it to be a little more flexible than it seems to be right now. Okay. So now let's cap this because it's going to take me a second to figure out what I want to do here. I want to make it so that I can like slide her in and out. So let's see. It's a pretty tight fit, but we can work around it. I could always sew whatever I put on here around it. So I just need something. Here's a, here's some craft paper. Is that too boring? Well, I want it to be strong. Oh wait, I've got all this butterfly stuff out on my, oh nope, I think these are all gonna be too small too. Yeah, darn it, it was a good thought though. Okay, let's do this. Okay, and I'm just gonna trim and trim. And then we'll leave it open on the top. Should I cut a little thumb notch in there? Do I have enough room? I've got my big guy. I can just give it an ever so slight one. Make it a little easier to fish it out, you know what I mean? Okay. Then I think I will go ahead and, I don't know, if I sew it down, guys, though, it's going to be too bulky, and I don't want the tag to get too bulky. I'm just going to go with glue. We're just going to, if it's too much glue, or if it gets squishes out too much, then I can always cut the little tag, the little picture down a little. Oops. I'm trying to be really careful in my use of glue. Oh. All right. Someone's at the door. I'll be right back.
A few moments later. More moments later. 6 hours later.
Well, all right, guys. So I think last time I saw you, which for you was literally a second ago, I said, hold on, someone's at the door. And now it's 24 hours later. 24 hours have passed. And boy, have I done a lot of things in those 24 hours. It was my mom at the door, by the way, guys. And I'm going to ink around the edge of this because I think that's maybe what I thought I wanted to do. My mom was at the door. So she says hello to everybody. But we chatted for a while, and then as soon as she was gone, I came back in and was gonna start, and then my dad called, and then a friend called, and then the girls came back from Black Bear, which is our local little summer only, it's called Black Bear Drive-In, and they, let's see, you'll see this side potentially. They do ice cream and burgers and hot dogs and sandwiches and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, they came back from there, so then we ended up having some girl time. Then I tried to go to sleep, and here we go with a TMI moment, but I ended up with a kidney stone, which I've had many of in my life, but haven't had for a while. I was gonna, okay, this is notch, thumb notch, and I was gonna put it on here, right? Oh, let's see if this fits in there. Ended up with a kidney stone, so up most of the night. Oh, that fits perfect. It needs a tab. Okay. And inking. So, was up most of the night. Passed part of it this morning. Went to church. And the rest of it passed. Which, hallelujah, because sometimes they can last days and days. This was just a God thing. Like my dad said, you know, sometimes we know that God is good, but then sometimes God just shows off a little. This was God showing off. It was pretty awesome. I've got my whale tail tab, rounded tab punches. I forget. Everybody corrects me. They're actually not called, only ever hear people calling them whale tail tab punches. But then other people are like, no, that's not what they're actually called. They have a specific name, but ooh, let's go with that one. I was gonna go with this one, but I kind of like the blue, shiny blue. Well, wait. That might blend in too much. Is there a different colorful one? This one's kind of colorful. We're doing kind of colorful. So, went to church, passed a stone, then came home from church. Oh, it was potluck. Made potluck stuff last night. Had potluck today. Visited with friends and family. My brother and sister-in-law and their family are back from vacation out to Yellowstone. So we hung out a little late after church and chatted with them. Came home. Thought, I'm going to just, you know, sit down for a second. Ended up falling asleep because, again, I was up all night long for most of the night trying to pass a kidney stone. Let's see. Okay, well, test number 1, it doesn't block her face or anything. And I bet you won't see much of it. Well, it doesn't really matter if you see much of it. Let's just glue it on. So, yeah, then I ended up falling asleep, which I didn't mean to because then that will mean that I'll have a harder time sleeping tonight. But oh well, I'll just stay up crafting because hubby is still out of town until tomorrow. He's at a gig in South Dakota, actually, Sioux Falls, which is about 6 hours away from where we live now. So I'll just craft. Oh, I put that on backwards. I wanted the pink part on front. Okay. That's okay. Easily remedied right before it's... Anyway, so then I fell asleep, woke up to my mom coming back over. So now we've come full circle. My mom came back over. But it's not far. They live across the street. But she came back over. We sat back out on the porch for a few minutes chatting for maybe an hour chatting. And I said, you know, I really need to go back to the video that I started 24 hours ago when you came and interrupted me last time. So here I am, trying to totally get a grasp back on what it was that was my vision. Doesn't slide very well, but it goes in enough. There. Sometimes when the ink is still fresh on there, especially the oxide, I think it makes it kind of sticky. It makes it hard to slide sometimes. But cool. Okay, so then we're gonna have to put some of that on there. But first, let's figure out how we're going to like affix this. And I'm kind of afraid that it's gonna flop around a lot. I wonder if I can, because I had to fold it. I should have not put the backing on. Yeah, I was thinking maybe I could trim it, but I don't think I can. I also, though, in the time that I was late last night, in the middle of the night at some point, after I had taken some pain medication, I was kind of in a Vicodin stupor. I have always had a few extras. My doctor always gives me a few extras to have on hand because I've had frequent kidney stones in my life. So rather than having to run into the doctor, he gives me a couple. And I used one last night, and as it had slightly alleviated some of my pain for a minute, I was sitting back in here, and I revisited the Foxy Rag because it was sitting out on my desk. And was reminded again how much I adore this issue. There we go. We might need to figure some sort of closure, or maybe just like a paper clip with a dangle would be kind of fun, right? Okay, let's put some butterflies on here. because that's what they're for. And let's choose some words, since I spent the time to cut out these teeny tiny little words. Let's see. I don't know if these are like, they must be like sentiments that kind of go together. Celebrate magic. Celebrate all the, just an opinion. Impossible is. Impossible is. Just an opinion. Oh. Stand tall yourself. Small things. Believe in, be proud. Believe in, be all you can be and more. Be all that you can be. You know what I'm talking about? Americans, American people, find your future in the army. Anytime anybody says be all you can be, that's all I will ever think. Okay, what does this lady look like she wants to do? Impossible is just an opinion, since that's the only one. Stand tall. Be proud. There, she's kind of standing tall. Maybe she says stand tall and be proud. I think that's what she says. You guys can go back up there. Stand tall and be proud. But they can't just glue on like this. We're going to need to put them on something. So let's get some of that wonderful background paper. I'm fishing through it over here with my other hand. Oh, is that going to be too bright, too obnoxious? Like, is that just going to get lost? Yeah, they're so small. I think that they'll get lost in the mayhem of bright. Oh, here, I've got some black. Yeah, let's just slice off a little bit of black. This paper, can you see that on camera? So, yeah. From our family friend Dorothy, who passed away. I know I talk about her all the time, but I should stop talking about Dorothy necessarily and mention her daughters, who are now dear friends. And so she had twins, Stephanie and Jennifer, who have been up here quite a bit and go to our church when they're up here. Well, they go to our church when they're not up here too. I just get to see them at our church when they're up here. Let's glue these on here and then we'll cut them out. All these are just, I want to ink them, but I think it would be, I run the risk of like inking the whole dang thing. Yeah, it's just going to be what it is. So Stephanie and Jennifer are constantly saving out little things for me. There we go. And they finally have gone through a bunch of the stuff in their mom's house and Dorothy's house, and they had their first garage sale over the weekend. So we were over there and I picked up this really cool looking thing, and I wasn't entirely sure what it was, but I knew I needed to have it. At first I thought it was wax seals, because the little wax brick things that came with it look like the wax seal bricks. And so I thought, well, even if it's not that, maybe I could use it as that. Yeah, this sets it off way better. But it was like bronze rubbings. I'm not entirely sure, and I haven't done my homework on it yet. But it came with this black kind of thin paper and a bunch of these somewhat metallic wax things. So I just got out one of my embossing folders and did like rubbing, frottage, did like rubbing over the top of it with different colors of the wax, and it turned out really cool looking. So now I just have this sitting on my desk, and I thought, I'm sure I'll use it as, a background to something, and look at, here we are. So, okay, she's gonna say, stand tall, be proud, and put one down up there. Actually, they should go this way. Stand tall, be proud, butterfly. Okay. Do they need, I just happen to have this. I was making some clusters. Yep. They need more layers. Although I'm gonna have to get more of this from somewhere. Uh-oh, this might be my only piece. It might have to share, or I don't think I'll have enough to go behind both. Okay, let me see if I can find another piece. If not, we'll just go with regular muslin, which I do have some of that over here. Holy cow, the longest piece ever. It's still going all the way back to my bin, which is way over there. Maybe I'll just put the same thing behind both of them. So I'm kind of curious to figure out what's behind this bronze rubbing stuff. It looks cool. I mean, it made that cool paper. Okay, there. Let's fray the ends up a little. So now it's Sunday, and I was just about to say, I hope you're all having a lovely Sunday, but actually by the time you see this, for most of you, it'll be Monday. I can still do that and not cover her face, so that's good. So I hope you're having a lovely start to your week. How about we say that? It is still crazy hot here in Minnesota. 24 hours ago when I was with you for the first part of this video, I was really hoping that it would not be this crazy hot, and let's use Fabri-Tac for this today, but it still is. It's not as bad, but man, the humidity is killer. Yesterday it was like 96, and in the cities they had heat warnings. I'll have to check in with my friends. Beth, if you're watching this, you'll have to let me know in the comments down there. Was it at least 100 where you were? Because I think I saw people saying in the cities that it was at least 100, if not like over 100 actual temp. But for it to be in the 90s up here, that's in the high 90s. That's a cooker. That's a cooker. All right, I've got another box of stuff from the twins, from Stephanie and Jennifer. Hi to Stephanie and Jennifer if they're watching. They said they were going to check out some of my videos because they had never seen what I actually make with all the stuff. It's kind of funny because as they're going through stuff, they say, you know, but I try to describe the kinds of things that I like, you know, that I'll use and that I think are interesting. And you know, most people are like, isn't that just kind of garbage and stuff? But no, some of the things are, you know, some of the things that we think are awesome are other people's garbage. So they've started calling it that. They're like, we think it's garbage, but Nikki loves it. So we say, so when I was out there, they said, oh, we've got another box for you. And then one of the sisters said, what is it? And they said, garbage. And they were like, oh, okay. And you're just giving that to her and she seems excited. But I was just telling my mom while we were visiting for the second time now out on the porch, I said, Mom, it's like, it's almost like my own little personal archaeology adventure. I kind of want to put this one down here. I think that's where it wants to go. Digging through the box, you know, I don't keep everything because some things just aren't things that I would use, but they're not entirely sure. So anything they think I might use, they just throw it in a box. And they said, whatever you don't use, just, you know, bin it. And at least we know some of the things that they would normally be throwing away might actually go to good use. So they brought me some super cool stuff. And yesterday digging through box number 1 was really cool. And then when they showed up to church today, they had another box. Would you guys be interested in doing the archaeology of the next box with me? Is that something I should film? Would it be fun, or is that just weird? Okay, I like that. That's cool. And now I feel like, okay, so should we put something here? But I really like this tag. Oh, You guys, Alexa just started talking out in the great room and it freaked me out. I thought everybody was out in the in the shop. And I was like, man, Alexa's a creeper. Oh, this isn't even. Do you guys have Alexa in your house? Amazon Alexa? I mean, it's super great and helpful, and we use it a lot. It's almost like our walkie-talkie between the house and the shop and the girls' room downstairs. But also, she can be super creepy and just start talking to you at the most random times. That part. My husband, who does cybersecurity, is like, yeah, I don't know that I'm a huge fan of that. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out, do I want to dangle something that could like hide back there? No, that seems like a little much. Let's just we'll put a regular hole keeper thing. And I've got my puncher here. Alrighty. I always have to punch the one on front first because I've tried where I line them up. Every once in a while I'll think, oh, I've just put the one on front and back and try to line it up, and it's never right. That's a losing endeavor, if ever there was. I happen to have this this is actually a vintage paper clip. It's an old one. So it might need for some sort of dangly thing, which would be kind of cool. I don't know, since I'm feeling indecisive on what should go behind this flip out thing, then maybe it just stays there. We'll put it up there so it doesn't go on the plastic. Maybe it just stays like this for now and I'll revisit it later. Or maybe this just ends up being what it is. Oh, suddenly I have an idea. Wouldn't it be kind of fun to have a tiny little notepad back here? Or maybe that went up a little higher? Okay, you might not think it'd be fun, but I do. So give me a sec. I'm gonna grab a couple of pieces of like coffee stain paper. Okay, here we go with a couple pieces of coffee stained paper. And now let's see, we want it to be like it's 3 inches wide, so we want it to be like 2 3/4. Sorry about my indecisive measuring, guys, hold on. And then maybe I'll make it 5 1/2 tall. 2 3/4, 5 1/2 tall. I'll pull out my smaller cutter. 2 1/2 and 5 3/4. I haven't used this one forever, guys. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna mess up my whole desk. 2 1/2 and, oh yeah, and I'm just gonna staple them. Five 3/4. Ah! No blade. So we're gonna need the bigger cutter. I'll just cut and come back. Okay, I cut them down. And it's a good thing that you didn't have to watch me do that, because as I was doing it, my mom and daughters scared the bejesus out of me. They were walking right there is our front garden, right up against my giant window, and they came around the corner they were just boom, they were right there. And that was a slightly scary moment. They were right up, all up on my window. Okay, so let's do, I think at the end of this tag, this is gonna be it for this video. I might come back and do some more playing with Tracy's kits though. Or for sure I'll show you what I've done with them. I kind of want to fold this over and go sew it. I think that would be cute. So I'm going to zip this through my machine quick. Okay, I'm going to trim the ends here. And then we'll just glue this on. And what a dang cute tag we will have ourselves. And look at, we did this with just the digities from Tracy's, from the magazine, from the Foxy Rag. And look at how much more fodder we have. I mean, I can seriously go make several more of these, at least 2 more of these, without even having to reprint anything. Because there's 2 more tags that were on that page of these big ones. Was also thinking that I could make a tri-fold out of them, which would be kind of fun too. I'm going to hold this down for just a sec. And it's going to need some sort of fun, colorful. So these, because of these bright colors like this, they are going to work great in not the journal I'm working on right now, and not the next one, that's the Egyptian one, but the one after that. Yes, I'm planning that far in advance. We're having Tracy Fox Palooza, okay? Like, that's what's gonna happen here in my life for the next couple of weeks. Because Tracy Fox put out all these wonderful kits, and I can't not, because they all just were like so yummy, and I just, you know how sometimes you see something and you get 100 ideas in your head? Well, that's where I was at. So, okay, gluey fingers. That is really cute. It needs something in the top. Before we go, I must. So let me look. And this is perfect. In my archaeology of the box that Stephanie and Jennifer gave me the other day, I found this vintage, who knows how old this is, Rick Rack. And it's this blue color is going to be perfect. So let's double it up and put it through the top here, because it's just fun and funky enough to go perfectly with this. I was excited. I got some other Rick Rack too. There was some white and some red. I love this stuff. Okay, kind of trying to be careful so I don't rip my hole reinforcers, because I've ripped through not only the tag but the hole reinforcers before. Yes, that's talent. Okay, yep, that's perfect on there. Put that back. Okay, so now all I need is like a cute little bead dangle on here, which I will do. And this is so adorable. And oh yeah, we made this little book right at the beginning of this. So now it's been drying for 24 hours. But look at that little sweet book. Maybe on my next tag I'll have to find a way to tuck this book in there, or have this book somewhere with the thing. I don't know, we'll see. I just think this little book is so cute. I might just print out a couple more pages of this and make some more of them to stick in books, because I think it's so cute. And seriously, that could go with any kind of book, right? You could just, that could be a great little ephemera piece to have several of these and stick them in the pockets of things. And where there's the edges here where we glued down, I thought you could put fabric, like you could put a piece of fabric in between the cover and the pages, and then you'd have a little frayed edge. Yep, I'm gonna do that on my next go at this. So fun. So anyway, guys, thanks for coming and hanging out with me today. Well, literally for like 24 hours in my world. But I suggest, if you have not now, that you run over and seriously consider buying yourself a copy of the Foxy Rag. And if you get it, and if you like it, then this is issue 5, there are 4 more, and each of them has, again, a bunch of digital stuff in there. So it's not just the cost of the magazine. You're not getting just the magazine, the articles to read, and then you're done. You get digitals that you can print and print and print over and over again and reuse over and over again. There's some awesome like woodland ones in one of them. There's some like beachy themed ones in one of them. Yeah, so anyway, guys, I highly suggest it. So this sounds like an infomercial, which it slightly kind of is, but I love it, and I love Tracy Fox. So, and look at how fun this was to play with this stuff. Anyway, hope you guys are having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, whatever time it is, on whatever side of our wonderful, lovely globe that you live on. And until I see you next time, guys, stay safe and healthy and happy. I hope that you're able to find peace and do something super creative. And until I see you then, take care and God bless you. Bye, guys.